Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on Let's Talk Sports. And today we are finally doing our NFL wildcard predictions video as soon as the Google Slides open up here. So yeah, welcome back to another wildcard prediction video. We did this last year. We did this a couple years ago, back in 2021, 2022. And we're bringing it back because why not? Yeah, we are going to be predicting all 6 NFL wildcard games heading into this year's NFL playoffs. I'll admit there are some interesting games in here, probably some teams that some people probably didn't expect to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year, and what do you know, they made the playoffs. Also, this is going to be kind of an interesting postseason especially on the NFC side. It's weird that this will be the first time since 2020 the Cowboys nor 49ers will be in the playoffs. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. Real quick, I apologize. I am making this video at like almost 15 minutes till midnight. I've been at my mom's all week, so it's kind of why I haven't really been making videos. But we're finally doing it. We're doing this video the night before the first 2 wildcard games take place. So yeah, this video might be a little bit shorter, hopefully, than last year's. And also, this is just my opinion. So, if you think so, and it's totally fine. Everybody has their own opinions about certain games and everything. That's what makes these predictions fun. You're not going to get all your predictions right. Hopefully, I get most of these right. I mean, I think the first time, my first year doing wildcard predictions, I think I got all 6 games right. So, hoping to continue that luck. But yeah, here we go. Without further ado, like and subscribe, all that stuff, and let's hop into some wildcard predictions. Starting things off in the AFC, the first wildcard game, which will take place on Saturday, one of 2 games that will take place on Saturday. We have the Houston Texans hosting the Los Angeles Chargers in Houston, Texas. And, this will be kind of an interesting game. You have the Texans, they're coming off of, this is their second straight year with CJ Stroud, who had a very rough second half of the season. The Texans in general, as a team, had a very rough second half. And then you have the Chargers, they've been, playing really good football throughout the entire year. Harbaugh, this is his first year back in the NFL, and God, who knows how long after coaching the Michigan Wolverines for a long time. He's back in the NFL, coaching the Chargers, and man, oh man, he did a whole lot to improve this team. After the complete train wreck that Brandon Staley left with this team, heading into the year, I remember the Chargers, they were heavy favorites to be like one of the worst teams in the AFC this year. But Harbaugh came in, he changed that around just fine, turned it around, and what do you know, the Chargers have been a pretty solid team. They probably would have won the division if, the Kansas City Chiefs didn't exist. But, yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough pick for me. But and probably for a lot of people, I apologize if I'm stuttering on my words again. It is like I'm making this video at like 15 minutes till midnight. So, yeah, probably not the best idea. But I'm going to pick the Chargers to win this game. Jim Harbaugh, he knows how to win, games in the playoffs. I feel like this Chargers team, it's been really good. Again, he's facing a Texans team that is kind of, been cold lately. They didn't have a very good second half of the season. I think they've been dealing with a lot of injuries too. CJ Stroud has looked flat out horrible ever since that incident that he had with Caleb Williams, that little big bro talk that I guess that he had with them. Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers to win this game. Then we are heading to Baltimore. We're going to watch the other Harbaugh brother coach a playoff game against Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm picking the Ravens to win this game. I'm not really going to waste a lot of time on this pick. You know, the Steelers are kind of like the Texans in a way. It's like they didn't really look so good in the second half of the year. Like, I think the Steelers, they lost like 4 of their last 6 games, I think, if I'm correct. But, you know, it's Mike Tomlin. It's the Steelers. They're still going to finish with a 500 record. It doesn't matter who the hell they have as their quarterback. It doesn't matter that they've been platooning Russell Wilson and Justin Fields this year at the quarterback position. They still found a way to finish with a winning record, and they found a way to get it back into the playoffs. However, again, I think this is going to be the second year in a row we see the Steelers lose in the wild card round. This time to a division rival Baltimore Ravens team that's looking really good again. Lamar Jackson having another solid year. Derrick Henry on the ground. He's been by far the Ravens' most, probably their best offensive weapon so far. And the Ravens' defense, I mean, come on. When's the last time the Ravens had a bad defense? Baltimore wins this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's all I got to say about that. Moving on to the final AFC wildcard game. This game is on Sunday. We've got the Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on the Denver Broncos, led by the rookie quarterback Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Sean Payton, this is his first time back in the playoffs in quite a while. I think it was his first time since Drew Brees' last year in the NFL. Back in the 2020 season, I believe. And Sean Payton, he's back. He's taken Bo Nix and this Broncos team to the playoffs. And the Broncos, they've been kind of on the same boat as the Chargers, where it's like, you know, they've been, you know, consistently solid, you know, throughout the year. You know, nothing really too special, I feel like. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they still played okay. And then you get the Bills. I mean, they won the AFC East with literally no pressure. I mean, the Dolphins this year, they were not good. Tua was out for most of the year. Mike McDaniel. I mean, it doesn't matter. Mike McCarthy is a terrible coach. Mike McDaniel. Yeah, people are starting to realize, hey, this guy's not as good as a coach like people thought he was. And then, of course, you know, the Jets, they're screwed right now with Aaron Rodgers. And the Patriots, well, they pretty much pulled the same card that they had last year, just with Gerard Mayo and a rookie quarterback. Buffalo wins this game, no problem. You know, this game's going to be at home. Josh Allen, pretty solid quarterback when in the playoffs, you know, except for when he's playing the Chiefs. But, you know, that's a completely different story matter. Buffalo wins this game against the Broncos. And I would not be surprised if we see the Broncos back in the playoffs in the next couple years. Then we move on to the NFC side of things. What do you know? This was one of the first games of the season. The Green Bay Packers head into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. And like I said before, what do you know? You know, the season started off with week 1 with the Packers and Eagles in Brazil. And now we get a Packers-Eagles game in the playoffs. So, yeah, Green Bay, they're going to be looking for, you know, revenge against the Eagles after what happened, of course, in Brazil in week 1 with and, of course, we all know what happened in Brazil. You know, this is, I think for most people, this will be probably one of the easier picks. And it's going to be kind of an easy pick for me as well. I know the Eagles won back in week 1 in Brazil, and I think they're going to win this wild card game again against Green Bay. They're ending their season. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about this game. I think the Eagles, they kind of look like a better team than Green Bay as of right now. Kind of the same reason why the Bills are heavy favorites to win against Denver. And, yeah, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on this game. I think the Eagles, they're just going to run the ball to Saquon Barkley most of the game. They might give it to A.J. Brown or one of their 30 million receivers that they have. Yeah, I think the Eagles, they might be a little bit too much for the Packers in this game. Sorry, Green Bay. You know, if you're facing the Cowboys, you know, this could be a completely different story. But no, you're facing the Eagles. a much better team than Dallas. And yeah, I think the Birds are going to end the Cheesehead season in the playoffs. Then you've got another entertaining game. I think this might be on paper one of the better games on the NFC side, and that is the Washington Commanders heading into Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers once again winning the NFC South. The Commanders, this is their first trip to the playoffs since 2020, since that was like a very weird team. That was a very weird season all around. But anyway, the Commanders, they're back. They got new ownership. They pretty much got a new quarterback, obviously Jaden Daniels. A lot of people are looking at him as one of the best, having one of the better rookie seasons. I mean, no crap. I mean, he's one of two rookie quarterbacks to get his team to the playoffs. And man, oh man, Jaden Daniels has been a lot of fun to watch this year. I've watched a handful of his highlights on YouTube, and I've watched a couple Commanders games this year. And yeah, he's kind of a lot of fun to watch, no doubt. And I think he'll be a lot of fun to watch, heading into this game against the Buccaneers. This is really one of the few games where I'm honestly having a rough time picking who's going to win this game. Tampa Bay, of course, they do really well in the playoffs at home. So, of course, the Buccaneers are kind of favorite. And then you got Washington also playing really solid. I don't know. I'm not too sure what to go with here. I probably might rock and roll with the Buccaneers. I feel like the Buccaneers might pull off the win here. Again, however, I would not be surprised if the Commanders found a way to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised either way if one of these two teams win. They're both solid teams. They're both very similar teams on paper. But if I don't know, my gut is telling me to go with the Buccaneers to win this game, so I'm going to pick Tampa Bay to win this game. And last but not least, we have our Monday night game with the LA Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Oh boy, I don't know if anybody's going to pick the Vikings after what happened. I don't know what happened to Sam Darnold in Week 18 versus Detroit, and something tells me after that abysmal performance Sam Darnold had last week, I don't think people are going to really pick the Vikings to win this game after that. And I'm not too sure who to pick here either. To be honest with you, I kind of want to go with the Rams here. I think the Rams are probably one of the more like underdog-ish teams in the playoffs. The Rams, they're one of those teams where it's like you don't want to mess with them. Like you don't really want to run into them heading into the playoffs. This Rams team is really solid. This Rams team, probably one of the more underrated teams heading into the season. And I think this might end up being a playoff win for them. I can 100% see them moving on to the divisional round after this. Again, wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings pull off a win here, but I think it will end up being the Rammies taking down Minnesota, and they will head to the divisional round. And there you guys have it. That is my predictions for every single NFL wildcard game for this year. Do you guys agree with my picks? Do you disagree with them? If you guys do, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. You can tell me how big of a dummy I am, or you can tell me, or if you do agree with my picks, let me know. Without further ado, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy some football. And one more thing before I hop off. This game, of course, is the Monday night game, so it'll be on ESPN. Commanders and Buccaneers will be the Sunday night game on NBC or Peacock. Eagles-Packers will be on Fox. Bills and Broncos will be on CBS. Ravens and Steelers, I'm not too sure what network is airing this game. I think it's probably going to be a prime game. And then Texans-Chargers, of course, will be the Nickelodeon game. So, yeah, in case if you're wondering where you guys want to watch these games, now you guys know. But without further ado, take care, everyone, and I'll see you guys next